Awesome. Hey everybody, welcome to our last call for November. It's crazy. We're almost ending the year. We have one more month to go. But thank you all for joining us tonight. I'm going to kind of turn it over to Emily. She could just briefly, say she's prepared a call for us tonight. So Emily, please share with us for a second, and then I'll get the recording up.
So I'm actually in a 2%ers group that Christina Delgado is doing with another top coach in the network. Katie and I are actually both in it, and it's been really amazing to get more of a one-on-one experience with some of the top coaches in the network and really get to pick their brains. And one of the most incredible experiences as part of being part of this group was that Christy got Melanie Mitro to come on a call for us, which for those of you that may not know, that is a really big deal because she is the top coach in the network 2 years running and is likely going to make it a third year in a row. And so for me, it was just a really amazing experience to be on this call, being that, I'm a Beachbody coach and I'm one of many, but to have this top coach in the network come on and share her insight with you and really share actual gold, not just kind of it's about inviting and sharing your story, really getting down to the nitty gritty of what she does and really sharing honestly how it is that she runs her business specifically in the last quarter, because as I'm sure all of us know, these last few months have been a struggle. October, November, December are hard. Once it gets cold, it's hard for people to focus on their fitness results. They don't have that bikini to fit into anymore. So how do you make that final push in the year to really bring your business to where you want it to be and to not feel completely dejected and feel like you're a total failure because you didn't hit whatever goal or, whatever. So Melanie shares just amazing nuggets of wisdom of how to really push and how to strategically share in the final quarter so that we can set ourselves up for massive, massive success, not only in what is left of the year, but also in the next year. So that is why I wanted to share this video with you guys, because I thought it was just really well done. It really shared a lot of really amazing points. Good job, Paulina. Record time. And she really gives some solid advice on how to go about doing it. And just from my personal experience, I was struggling this month. And after watching this video last week, I went from SC2 to SC8. So it is really, she really gives you actual nuggets, and actual gold. So I'm going to stop talking because the video is kind of long, but Melanie is super awesome, and I hope you guys love this video and take lots and lots of notes, because I had 4 pages of notes from the first time I watched this.
Yes, awesome. Okay, let me pull up the video to screen share. Let me know if you guys can hear it.
All right, guys. Oh my gosh. I don't think I've been this excited for a call in a really long time. And just to give Melanie a little bit of perspective of who she's talking to tonight, Mel, this is a group that Andrea Crowder and I put together. We hand-selected from our entire downlines. And actually, I need to mute everybody, so give me 1 second. So let's forget to do that. All right, you're unmuted. So we've hand-selected a few coaches from our downlines to participate in what we call the 2%ers group. This is a very special group of coaches that have not only set big goals for the end of the year, but who are showing in their actions that they truly want it. Because we know, right, there's a huge difference between coaches that talk a lot and then there's coaches that actually do the work, right, and put in the time and get results. And these are the coaches that are getting results, that are pushing their businesses forward, that not only have goals for the year, for 2016 and to end the year strong, but also to hit the ground running in 2017. So I wanted to set that stage for you. And obviously, you don't need an introduction, but for those of you that are somewhat newer in the business, because to put a little bit more color into this, we have coaches that are emeralds, we have diamonds on this call, we have all-in diamonds, we have some one-star diamonds, even some two-star diamonds on this call. And some might not necessarily know the grasp of who Melanie Mitchell is. So let me do a small introduction, and then I'll let her take over so that we can obviously give her as much time as she wants to talk to us. But Melanie right now is the reigning top coach, 2 years in a row, headed into her 3rd year as top coach. For those of you that don't know, the Elite program has a ranking system. So as you start pushing for these elite goals, based on the productivity of your PS coaches, the ones that were sponsored in the last 2 years, that's how they rank coaches in the Elite system. Right now, as it stands, Melanie is the #1 coach in the entire network based on the productivity of her personally sponsored coaches. So she not only is one who knows how to set goals and execute them, but she also knows how to help her coaches execute goals. And that's what she's going to talk about tonight. She's also a Superstar 3 Diamond coach. That means that in 3 of her business centers, she's hit 15-star Diamond. Insane. She's part of the Million Club. She's part of the Coach Advisory Board with me. And she's also a Success Club 10 Legend All-Star. I can go on and on and on and on about all her accolades with Beachbody. She's a summit presenter God knows how many times. She's done the NLC leadership, all that jazz. And without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Miss Melanie Mitchell.
Hi guys, how are you guys doing? You guys can hear me okay? Alright, so thank you for the warm introduction, and I'm really excited to be here, but I will tell you, I am really feeling under the weather. So, I threw my back out actually, and I went and got adjusted yesterday, and when I got adjusted, it sort of messed something up, and so I've had vertigo all day today. And if you've ever had vertigo before, I have been really dizzy and really nauseated. And so I relaxed all day today. I prepared, but if I'm not on my A game 100%, that would be why. So I'm going to have to look at my notes just a little bit to get me through this tonight. But thank goodness that we have a job where if we don't feel our best, we can sit on the couch and watch TV. I've been watching, if you guys watch the series This Is Us, anybody watch that? I am addicted to it. I don't know how long it's been on, but I've watched 4 episodes in the last 2 days. Matt and I have been like on the couch watching TV. So yes, it's really good. And so anyways, it's been on for a while, and I just now am figuring out that this has been around, I don't know how many seasons. So anyways, I've been watching that, and it's new. Okay, good. So I'm trying to catch myself up to where we're at, but I do really like it a lot. So anyways, I'm really excited to be here. Talking to you guys tonight. So a couple of things, when Christina and I were talking, this group that she is doing, she talked on my group last week, and I'm literally doing the exact same thing that she is doing with my coaches too, right? And so this time of year is I always say this time of year as a leader is the most draining time of the year in the business, right? Because I feel like, I remember back to my first year qualifying for Elite, I was like hanging on tooth and nail, hoping that nobody would go inactive so that I would become an Elite coach, right? I just was like constantly checking my sponsorship drill down. And then once I got myself to Elite, then I was sort of backfilling, and I'd say to my coaches, we were plugging the holes for a little bit, right? And we were trying to build this momentum and stability. And then over the past 5 years, I've really had to take this time of year and just kind of encourage and really just kind of help my coaches to see the vision for their business and just believe that, there are these ups and downs, there are these peaks and valleys in your business that you go through, right? And so tonight, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about just mindset of the end of the year, what's going to help you to get to your goals, some things that really help me, some things that really help my coaches to get there. But then I'll even just flip that a little bit, and we'll talk strategy too. So what are some of the things that I am doing with my coaches that is helping them to strategize and plan? And actually, after I get off this call with you guys, I'm going to get on my team call, and my team call tonight is actually end of the year strategizing. It's taking the sales that Beachbodies put out. It's taking a 3-day refresh. We're doing all sorts of little groups to sort of help our coaches have not even challenge pack sales, but just success, just wins with getting customers, with getting people in the door, with building trust and building momentum. So I will walk you guys through that tonight. Does that sound good to you guys? Are we good? All right. Okay. So like I said before, the end of the year, the fourth quarter is definitely the most challenging time of the year, but this is also the most momentum building time of the year, right? Jeremy Red is my mentor, or was my mentor, I guess I should say, because he's not with Beachbody anymore, but he used to say to me, Melanie, you know how to rock the fourth quarter. He's like, this is where you gain your momentum. And what you see is coaches that because they get less traction. I mean, how many of you have seen your likes on social media go down? Even this week, even today, I noticed it went, whoo, and the rest of this week, it's going to be way down, right? And it's just, you see this sort of decline during these two. People buy challenge packs, then they fall off the face of the earth. They never even complete the program. They get 1 week in, and then they're gone, right? This is the time of the year where you are working as hard as you do the other 11 months out of the year, but you see less results because of it. But that does not mean that people are not watching you. And that's the big thing that I have been just preaching to the high heavens with my team is like, I promise you, what you do now is going to determine what 2017 looks like. And if you're pushing for, to be a diamond or a star diamond or to secure your rank or to become a premier or elite coach, even if you're sitting here right now with that deadline approaching for some of these goals and you say to yourself, I just don't think it's going to happen for me, promise me that you will not let that date that you needed to start qualifying come and go and say, I didn't reach the goal. I'm just going to put it on cruise for the rest of the year, because I promise you that will shoot yourself in the foot. If you say to yourself, I'm going to push myself until December 31st and beyond, like there's no turning back, like I've already achieved the goal, I guarantee you will have a better January, February, March than everybody else that sort of checked out and let that be something that could hold them back. All right. So I've been talking about that over and over with my team. I'm like, just hang in there. Just trust me. I promise you that it will be worth it. So right now, get in that mindset of, I have to do a little bit of extra work, maybe for the same or less sort of immediate gratification, but it will pay off in the long term. Also, during this time of year, you really do have to dig down and remember your why. When it gets a little tough, it's easy for people to sort of forget why they got into the business in the first place. It's easy to sort of default to things that are just comfortable, like getting another full-time job, or maybe you're a nurse and you can pick up extra hours. If you work in a hospital, you can pick up extra hours. You can make double time, right? You can work a holiday. There are easy ways to make money this time of year. But remember that what your why is. Is your why about, the fitness? Is it about accountability? Is it about getting out of a situation that you currently aren't happy in? Is it about the future? It's about, sort of creating that freedom and flexibility for your life. And so even now, while it might feel like you have to cut corners and you have to make sacrifices, if you do that now, if you dedicate those extra hours to your business, even though you could bring more money in somewhere else, I guarantee you it's going to pay you in the long run to make that sacrifice, right? To make that decision to go. So you have to remember your why. Remember what you're passionate about in this business. And for me, instead of being so focused on the rank, on achieving that, this is the time of year where I dive in and say, how can I help the people? The people are actually what got me here. My fitness results are what brought me to Beachbody in the first place, the need to have that transformation. And the best way to find those business building coaches, right? The best way to find the people is through success stories. And so this time of year, and I wrote this on here, it's like, what am I passionate about in my business? Right now, I love helping people the most. I love that. I know that the holidays are a really hard time for people. This is where a lot of people fall off track, where a lot of people make excuses. It's where we have to teach people how to make healthy choices. This is something that you can just put all over your social media, is really where you can say, I'm going to teach people why, what I'm so passionate about in this business is helping people get the fitness results. And we're going to dive into that and talk a little bit more about that, because that's going to become your strategy. So keep that as first and foremost is the thing you do, is like everything should be based around how do I help people get the best results possible? Because if I can do that, I can give that extra effort this time of year, if I can lead by example, all of those people, if they didn't commit now, they're going to commit in January. Or if they get really great results over the holidays, they're going to become coaches, all right? So you want to kind of keep that sort of in the back of your mind, that that's where you want to put your focus on. It's not about you want to do the incredible coaching posts, but what's really going to get people in your business is going to be the transformation. It's going to be the product. And everybody has their own unique angle, right? So if you even think about this, what part of Beachbody are you most passionate about? Is it the fitness program? Like some of you are fitness instructors or group fitness instructors. Some of you, do fit clubs. Some people like to host live events. Some people really are passionate about, vegan or paleo, or for me, the Whole30 has really been something I have taken under my wing. Or maybe you have autoimmune, or, also what can you leverage this time of year to help other people? I think that's another thing that separates you apart, but that's what makes you a unique Beachbody coach. That's what makes you passionate about what you do. It's just not the same thing that everybody else is posting about. All right. Does that make sense for you guys too so far? Okay. All right. So the next thing is, and you want to be unusually enthusiastic about it too. So you want to be over the top. I see a lot of times, this time of year too, it's easy to blend in. It's easy to sit down at the computer, and this happened to me this morning. I was like, I got nothing going on in my brain, and I could be white noise to people, or I could just not post anything at all. And I actually chose to not post anything at all, right? Until I figured out what it was that was going to stand out. And so you want to think to yourself, okay, what about my Beachbody business am I enthusiastic about, that I love to do? And so for the past 60 days, it's been teaching people the quality of food. How to read labels, how to pick this versus that. I did a live video with Matt and I in the kitchen last week talking about our Thanksgiving dinner. That got people to tune in for the fitness side of it, got people to understand who we are as people. And then this week I'm talking about the business, right? So you're thinking of ways that you can get people involved and into your business, all right? So you want to think about, what is my angle that sets me apart from the rest? All right, and then the next thing is, we need to focus on our mindset. So we get these ideas starting to go. We know our why. We know that we have to work hard this time of year. We know what it's going to take to get there, but we need to really focus on the mindset of reaching our goals. And we have big goals, and we have deadlines, and we all want to get there. And the first thing, and this was something that, how many of you have read The Entrepreneur Roller Coaster by Darren Hardy? Anybody read that book? Some of you? Okay. So this was a book that somebody recommended to me, and I picked it up, and I've actually been listening to the audio on Audible. And he talked about these 5 things in there that really help you to be successful, that sort of set you apart from the rest. And as I was listening to this, I kept finding myself going, yes, absolutely, right? I can love Beachbody, but I can have great fitness results. I can have gone through a challenge group. I can have a great social media presence, but unless I've really been able to master these 5 things, I'm not necessarily going to have success. And the first one is stop being likable. How many of you feel like you are so concerned about what everybody else thinks that you are holding yourself back? Yes? Anybody? Okay, so that's the first thing. To improve things, you have to change things. You have to push the change, and progress is hard enough, and we have to be okay with people not liking us. All right? If we're always sort of tiptoeing around, trying to make sure that everything is, and Christina's great at this, like she speaks her mind, and she's okay with not everybody liking her, but that's actually what draws the people that are most like her to her. It's because she speaks her mind, right? And so, yes, to improve things, you have to change things. That is so important. So think about this. It is okay to not be liked by everybody, and that is an okay thing. It's okay to put things on your social media that cause people to have an opinion, that allow people to interact with you, that allow people to go back and forth. I think I did a post like that last week, and like I said, my brain is not functioning today, but I can't remember what it was that I did, but I think it got like, oh, I remember what it was. I posted table in my office, crawling around, and we talked about how, difficult homework time is. And I knew people were going to be like, oh my gosh, you're putting your child on social media. But it created all of this just conversation back and forth and connection with other parents about how they get their kids to attend a task and what they're doing to help their kids get through the homework. And it just sort of created this great dialogue. Sure, I'm sure that made some people angry because it isn't the way they parent. And I talked about how I could never be a homeschooling mom, and that's not my thing. My kids need to go to school because I can't do that, right? But that created a lot of back and forth interaction. So it's okay to put things on there, but on your social media like that, because it actually makes you relatable. It makes other people see you as not just another Beachbody coach out there too, right? And you have a life outside of that and something that is relatable to people too, all right? The second thing is to become laughable. And I thought this was really great because Darren Hardy used this quote. So at the beginning of my business, I was thinking to myself, okay, as a Beachbody coach, how many people laughed at you at first? How many people thought you were crazy for doing this business? Yes. How many people think thought you off your rocker? You joined some crazy, pyramid scheme, and you were giving up this, and Christina, this great job to be a Beachbody coach. Like, holy cow! And people laughed. And if you think about every kind of icon out there, everybody that's revolutionary, that's really made a change, people made fun of them at first for that idea. People made fun of their innovations because they thought they were different, they were crazy, they were not the norm. And did you know that only 10% of people are entrepreneurs? Only 10% of people are willing to be laughable. 90% of people out there go and collect a paycheck at a job because they would rather fit in and blend in than stand out. And you guys are that 10%. And so it's going to mean that we have to grow a little thick skin, and we have to say, I don't care what somebody else says about me. I don't care if somebody else doesn't want to join my business, because this is what I want to do. This is what fills my cup. This is what sets me apart from the rest. And you know what? You might laugh at me now, but I guarantee you are going to eventually want to join me. And I think back to year 1 and year 2 in my business, and my husband laughed at me, and my in-laws laughed at me, and my sister-in-law laughed at me, and my neighbors unfriended me, and people stopped talking to me. And I just said, and it hurt, and I shed some tears sometimes, and I want people to like me. I don't like when people talk about me, right? I have that people-pleasing personality. But Matt, I'll never forget when Matt said to me, one day we're sitting in the car, and he said to me, Melanie, do you love what you do? And I said, yes. He goes, are you hurting anybody? I said, no. He goes, are you selling them something that doesn't work? I said, no. He goes, then why do you care what other people think? He goes, you do what you love, and it doesn't matter the opinions of other people. And it was like something at that moment, it just clicked for me. When he said that, I was like, you're right. And now every time somebody comes to me and sort of gives me a dig, or maybe looks at me different for what I do, or when I moved into this neighborhood, people were like, what does she do? They were investigating me on social media. I'm pretty sure they were all talking about me. I just thought to myself, I'm being laughable, right? I am being laughable, and I don't care, because on down the road, whatever they say, it might mean that they are just jealous, or they just wish that they would have had the courage to pursue their dreams. Maybe they haven't found that thing yet. And so that is something that I keep in the back of my mind. Remember, you're the 10%, you're the innovators, you're the people that are going to change the world. You're the future, of our world, right? All right, so the next thing is you have to define your success. And this is another really great one. It's on your own terms and what really matters to you. So you can't define your success based on what Kristen does, or Jana does, or Marty does, or what Krista does. You have to define your success based on you. What makes you feel alive? What gives you joy? What is your definition of success? Because in this business, you can go so many different ways. It can be your definition of success. It could be that you don't ever want to stand on a stage, you don't ever want to present, you don't want anybody to ever, you don't want to be in a spotlight. You always want the spotlight to be off of you, but you can make a significant impact. This business could be just sort of something that's comfort for you, or it could be a total life transformation. But you have to write that definition of success, and then I actually wrote out my definition and taped it to my computer screen so that I could every single day look at what that would look like. And to me, it was, I will delay instant gratification so that I could have long-term success. And then I went on to say that at the beginning of my business, it was, Matt and I used to fight about money all the time. Every single Friday, I would have to call and say, can I go get groceries today? And he would either have to say yes or no based on if we had gotten paid that week. I would go to Target, and within 5 minutes of me checking out at Target, Matt was calling me or texting me and saying, what did you buy for $10.38 at Target? And I hated that. I hated the fact that I felt like I was chained to just sort of living the bare minimum. And I remember thinking to myself, there has to be something more. And when I saw Beachbody, and when I started coaching, I started getting on the team calls, I saw the recognition boards, and I saw people talking about their income and paying off debt or quitting jobs. It painted this possibility for me. And so my definition of success was to get out of that feeling of having to live paycheck to paycheck. And it started at this time of year with saying, I'm going to pay cash for Christmas. Every single year at Christmas time, it was like $20 per person for our family members. And I would always look for the sales. I'd cut the coupons if I could even cut it down to $15 a person. But I hated that I couldn't buy people what I wanted to buy them for Christmas. I had to buy what I could budget for. And so my first year at Christmas, that was a goal of mine. My goal was to be able to pay cash for Christmas. And when I did that, that was the most empowering feeling to me. To say I did that. We had no credit card bills in January, February, or March because we paid cash for everything that we had. And that was like one step in the right direction. And then the next step for me, success for me, the next step was, and I kept changing my definition as I grew in the business. And so you don't have to know exactly what success is going to look like 5 years from now, but you should know what it looks like for maybe this next 2 months or this next 3 months, right? And so if you just set these tiny little benchmarks, it's going to help you accomplish all the other goals that you've set for yourself. And so for me, in order to get there, it was the number of lives changed. I didn't look so much at building this huge team and finding these amazing working coaches. I was like, how many lives can I change? How many people can I transition into, working coaches through running amazing challenge groups because I'm passionate about the product. I'm passionate about helping people. I'm passionate about clean eating. I'm obsessed with clean eating. I'm teaching it all the time, right? And because that showed through, that was how all of those goals were able to be accomplished. So you've got to define your own success. And this was the quote that was in there. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's dream. So you should be building your own dreams, achieving your own goals, not somebody else's. All right. The next one is, where did it go? Get a grip, right? And this kind of goes in line with the other one too about being laughable. But number 4 was get perspective of others' opinions and how they're not important. So it's important for you to realize, getting a grip sort of means other people's opinions don't matter. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter what they do. Get a grip on your own reality and stick to that. So sometimes we have to jolt ourselves out of that poor pity party, poor me sort of mentality and say, no, this is my goal. This is what I want, and I'm going to go after it. And then the last one is this. It's reducing the recovery time. So focus on the lessons learned and the opportunities created. The achievers are born faster based on how they get back up after being challenged. So recovery time. So I think I talked about this at leadership or at Summit, right? And so I talked about your recovery time. And I see so many people, you think about challengers, right? They have a cheat meal and they say, well, there we go, I'm done. And they just quit. And they're just done. They just completely peace out. But then you have those people that can look at a cheat meal and they can say, I made a mistake. I had too many glasses of wine, and then I ate, the cheeseburger that I shouldn't have ate because I drank the glasses of wine. And they say to themselves, oh, it was a mistake. I'll get back up. I'll work hard. I'll get right back on the train, and I'll keep going. Those are the people that get the results in their fitness because they see that as a learning experience, and they actually learn from it instead of letting it define them and hold them back. And it's the same thing with your business. Somebody says no to you, you just immediately say, oh well, it's not for them, on to the next. You put the business opportunity post out there, it doesn't get any likes, you're like, well, okay, let's try something else. You move on to the next. And then you have those people that say, nobody wants to join my team, this isn't working, and they just throw up their hands. And so the people that have the fastest recovery time, that are able to look at sort of a roadblock or an obstacle or an objection and learn from it are the ones that get ahead. And Darren Hardy was saying this in this book. He talked about there will be more dark days than good days, which means you're going to have more objections than you're going to have people that say yes. But the people that say yes are going to be really good, right? And that's where you're going to find those really amazing coaches and the rock stars on your team. So you have to embrace the failure. You have to train yourself to realize that failure is actually a very good thing. It's a positive thing. So every time you fail, you celebrate that, right? Every time you fail, you say, all right, I tried. I found another way that didn't work. And you begin to take your downtime, the downtime where you sort of give yourself a pity party from maybe a day to maybe a couple of hours to 5 minutes to on to the next, right? And so really great, successful people look at their failures as opportunities to get better and to find reasons that don't work. But also your failures are ways that you can begin to teach others, your coaches, your team, your challengers, how to be successful too, all right? So what we want to do is we want to fail a lot and we want to fail forward. So now here we go. I want to kind of talk to you guys about strategy now that we've kind of set the stage. So who cares about who likes us? We know what we're passionate about. We are obsessed with our business, right? It's all we can think about. We love what we do. We've defined it. We've got a grip on it. We're not going to let our failures hold us back. And now we need to create the strategy to go with it. So first and foremost, I run groups that I'm passionate about. So right now, this time of year, it's holiday survival skills. I've seen some coaches right now that are doing things about gratitude, that are doing things about being thankful. So they're kind of pairing the holidays, with taking care of yourself, and it's not selfish to take care of yourself. And then they're kind of doing some emotional mindset, or they're doing some emotional eating. And so take what Beachbody gives you, this great platform, this great catalog, and customize it and make it stand out. How can you set yourself apart from other Beachbody coaches and look at your market of people, or your niche of people, and what do they need? You have people with small children. You have women or men that work full time and they don't have a lot of time. Like, what can you do to sort of meet that need for people right now? Also, another thing too, strategy-wise, is look at what Beachbody has to offer you. They've got the 3-day refresh on sale. We have quarter force that's on sale. We have that holiday sale that's going on right now. So there are some things that Beachbody has put in place for you that are great stepping points. So some of the things that I'm teaching my coaches right now is I actually create a customer newsletter. I try to do it once a month. And what I do is I take out of my Coach Online office, I take all of those emails and I take them and I put them in an Excel spreadsheet, right? And I use my personal email. So I find that personal email doesn't get filtered as much as my Team Beachbody email does, right? And so I create a little newsletter. And so today, I actually did this morning. I sent out this newsletter and I said, you know what? The 3-day refresh is on sale. If you are going to be traveling this week, if you are going to be, enjoying turkey dinners, maybe not one turkey dinner, but 2, maybe, you have some parties that you're going to, and you're going to be off track, and you would like to sort of refresh, restart, get back on track. I'm hosting a 3-day refresh group. And so it's going to start on the 28th. It's going to be 2 weeks long. So people can either start on the 28th or they can start on December 1st. And so I'll have 2 options. So I sort of wrote this out in the email with the 2 separate options. And then I put the link to the closed Facebook group that they can join. And so all they need to do is purchase the 3-day refresh to be a part of it, right? And they need the complete kit so that it comes with Shakeology. And then my next line in there was, if you would like to participate, or if you would like to participate in my holiday survival guide group, which is an actual, challenge group where I'm going to match you up with a fitness program and Shakeology, you can also get the quick start, which gives you the 3-day refresh and the challenge pack, right? And so I went into detail about that. I said, if you're confused on your options, just reply to this email. I'll walk you through what the best option would be for you. All right, so I in this email sort of outlined the options. And then the next paragraph, I talked about my challenge group, the holiday survival guide. And I linked it to my blog post that I wrote about the holiday survival guide and who it was for, that my goal was not to make you give up everything you love over the holidays, but to teach you balance between what you really want to have, like grandma's apple pie, but then you're going to give up the mashed potatoes because they're really not that good. You really don't like the way your aunt makes them anyways, right? You know, so in this little email, I talked to them like you would talk to your best friend, right? And you know how you rationalize in your mind, I really want the glass of wine, I'll save the yellow, I'll drink my Shakeology for breakfast. And so I sort of wrote a paragraph to kind of connect with them, and I said, look, I'm not going to make you give everything up, but I'm going to teach you balance. You know, when you work out, when you take care of yourself, you have more energy to Christmas shop, you have more energy to go to the holiday parties, you're not short fused with your kids because you feel confident, you know, you have good energy. You know, that is not selfish to put yourself first for 30 minutes a day. If you would like support and accountability throughout the holidays, join my holiday survival guide. And so then I gave my little application and more information in there. And then my last paragraph talked about coaching. Hey, if you are a current challenger of mine, or if you love the products and you love the programs, or if you just want to save 25% off of your Shakeology every month, right? You can join as a Beachbody coach, either to work the business or to get the discounts. I'm also going to be opening up an opportunity, an event on the 30th that explains exactly what coaching is, and I invited them to my coach sneak peek. And I talked a little bit about when my next group by training was going to be, and I talked about cash for Christmas, because that's something I'm very passionate about. I want to help a small group of new coaches to earn $500 cash for Christmas. I have a personal vested interest because I know how it made me feel. That's my marketing strategy for the month of December, because I want people to feel that same way. I'm going to teach them what I did in order to pay cash for Christmas. I'm going to talk about that. So I just created a public event on my personal Facebook page, and it's called Cash for Christmas. It's a business opportunity call. And so I wrote this email out and I sent it to everybody, all of my contacts, everybody that I have on a list, every past person that's ever filled out an application for 21 Day Fix, you know, 4 years ago, 3 years ago when the product was launched. Like, I took all the emails that I had and I sent that out. So my goal is to maybe re-engage somebody with a 3-day refresh, to re-engage somebody in an official challenge group, to get maybe somebody who's been watching me silently, and now that whole idea of cash for Christmas might sound really appealing. And so whatever avenue, I'm just trying anything to get people engaged in support so that I can develop a relationship with them and hopefully help them get results either in the fitness or in the business. So what I'm doing is I am, you know, getting them in through that funnel and giving them an opportunity. So that's number one. That's one strategy that I'm working on. And I'm going to give you a lot tonight, but don't feel like you have to use every idea. So I always say this to my team, like, pick and choose which of these ideas actually fits you the best and then go with it, right? The next thing is core to force. How many of you are doing core to force right now, right? Okay, so I have like a coach group at my customer challenge group, but then I have a coach group. So anybody in my entire organization that's doing core to force can be in our coach group. And so I'm actually teaching them how to market themselves on social media, how to use their results in order to, in order to promote the product and get their challenge back, right? And so in this core to force group, every single week, I'm saying to them, all right, take your before pictures, and somebody, Christina, did you do this where you blurred out your core to force, like your before pictures, and you put that block on it? I feel like maybe I took that from you. I might have even shared your picture. So I have so many people who are like, I don't want to put my before pictures out there. I'm like, here's what you do. I said, blur it out, talk about your before pictures. I said, but then every single week, you take your progress pictures. You write your meal plan. You post about it. Every single day, you post about your workout. You take people on the journey with you. I said, and as a coach, it is your responsibility to get results this time of year. It is your responsibility to do the program from beginning to end, because this is when people are really, really watching you. And if you can get results now, I guarantee you in December, this is where your success cup points are going to come from. It's because people are going to be inspired by it. Even if you didn't have a good launch on the first day of Core to Force, I guarantee you it will be the program you sell the most if you commit to it from beginning to end. So I have been walking them through everything, like meal planning, and okay, what are we doing over Thanksgiving weekend? How are we going to stay on track? Remember, as coaches, our results are our business, so we have to talk about it, right? And so we've been working on that. And then we're coming to the end of 30 days, right, where I'm actually in my last week of Core to Force. Everybody else will finish next week. But the Core to Force program, when you flip it over, it has a BOD option and it has a deluxe option. So I am teaching them how to take those challengers in that challenge group and keep them and roll them right into month 2. All right, do we want to do the deluxe or do you want to do the Beachbody on-demand option? So what does that do? Keeps them on Shakeology. It also either has them subscribe to BOD or buy the deluxe upgrade. All right, or they can repeat, just another round, but that is getting them all the way through Christmas. So I'm doing that with my coaches and I'm doing that with my customers because I'm trying to keep people engaged from now until the end of the year. And again, I'm in the back of my mind going, I need people to get results. I need my customers to get my results because those are going to be my Transformation Tuesday posts, right? Because I want to build my library of success stories. So I am pouring my heart and soul into my challenge groups because I know that is where my future challengers are going to come from, is from their results and being able to say, hey, we did this together, or this is how our team is succeeding. All right? Okay, so that's something else that I'm doing. And lastly, I've been speaking to the high heavens with my team about not hitting cruise control with their results this time of year too. And so I feel like this is the 3rd week of our quarter force group. It's also Thanksgiving week. And I've even challenged all of my coaches on my team to buy the 3-day refresh. And then they should do it too. So I said, get the 3-day refresh today. I actually told them last week, I'm like, go buy the 3-day refresh. If you need to keep your husband active or your mom active, I'm like, have them get the 3-day refresh. So at least it keeps whoever you need at their PV requirements. I said, but you do it. You take your before pictures. You walk people through the 3 days. For the entire 3 days, take pictures of every meal, make a collage at the end of the day, talk about it, talk about how you're not on the toilet, pooping your pants. It's not that kind of a cleanse, right? I hope I didn't make you spit out your wine, Christina. But people ask that question, right? Don't they? They're like, oh my God, can I go to work when I do this 3-day refresh? I'm like, no, this is fine. The fiber might bloat you a little bit, so just drink lots of water, right? So anyways, but that gets people to purchase it too if they see you do it. So that's another thing that I encourage my team to do. So if you're trying to keep people active, get your whole downline to do it. Get people engaged. That could be something that is easy. It's not a big commitment, and it works really well to sort of keep your even your newer coaches going this time of year also, right? Okay, I'm almost done, guys. And I wrote sleep and get ahead on the back of my notes here. Keep going while everyone else sleeps and is getting it. So this is another thing, right? For me, especially this time of year, I have to ask myself, right? I have to say, okay, everybody else is sleeping in. Everybody else is, checking out. Everybody else is eating Christmas cookies and partying it up, right? And so, yes, I want to have the balance between the two. But for example, today, I just knew there were certain things I had to check off the box. Like I knew that I needed to get that email out. I knew that I needed to talk about that 3-day refresh. I know that on Thanksgiving morning, I need to crush my workout, right? I know that the day after Thanksgiving, I might feel a little blah, but I need to crush my workout. And so, why I wrote sleep and get ahead of people, right, is because there are going to be choices that you're going to have to make over the next 6 weeks. And you have to make the hard decision to write the emails, to do the follow-ups, to crush that workout, to do the 3-day refresh, to lead by example, because that means you are maximizing the opportunities in front of you, right? And it is a choice. The coaches that are successful made a choice. It wasn't that they had some secret skill or secret sauce or they did something different. It was just that they consistently made the choices to do the things that they knew that they needed to do to actually move their business forward. And so that to me is sort of like this time of year, it's maximizing those opportunities. As soon as you see the opportunity or you think of an idea, it is creating the post and not just letting that moment pass them by. All right, so create that sense of urgency, do that customer email. I saw somebody ask the question, Suzanne, what's the best newsletter site? There's MailChimp, there's Constant Contact. I use Aweber, but only because I've used it since I started, and I don't know if it's the best one, but that's what I use, and it works really well. Also, guys, Black Friday is another big thing. I've encouraged my coaches. I don't know, some of you, I'm sure, on this call haven't hit Success Club yet, and so if you haven't, I even create these sales to get coaches. I've done this new coach welcome gift basket where I get the compound effect and I have a little coach manual that I print out and a a team shirt or a shaker cup or a packet of Energize, and I make like a little gift basket that I would give new coaches, and so that is my Black Friday sale, right? So anybody that joins my team is going to get a one-on-one call, getting started right call, which I do anyways, right? So they're not getting something that I wouldn't typically do, but then I give them sort of this little gift basket for joining my team. Or you can do like a gift card, gift card of your choice for purchasing a challenge pack, joining your holiday group, or whatever you're going to do. But Black Friday, think about what catches your eye. It is that there's, like, think about Walmart. There's only 2 TVs available, and it's first come, first serve, right? You want to make your business the same way. On Friday for 3 hours or from 8 a.m. till midnight, you've got two offers available, first come, first serve, and you kind of create an ad to go along with it, and you make it extremely enticing. You put it on Instagram, you put it on Facebook, and then I do the same thing Cyber Monday, right? I'll do the same thing, and I encourage my coaches to do the same thing. So maybe amongst you all, you can share some ideas for things that you can come up with and you can do, but those are other opportunities to get customers or coaches to join you as well. So leverage the things that just society puts out there that you can use on a smaller scale within your business too. And yes, Small Business Saturday is Saturday also, and I have done that before also. So that's another idea for you guys too. All right, I talked about leveraging the holiday spending, the cash for Christmas, and I think that's it. That's all my ideas. I think I've given you a ton of ideas. I really wanted to just leave a couple of minutes at the end to just open it up for discussion for you guys. But here's the big thing. I know I gave you a lot of ideas. When I do this with my team and where's my calendar? I have this big desk, it's behind me. But I have this big desk calendar, and what I do is I sit down and with my pencil, and I actually write out, okay, the timing. If I want to do a 3-day refresh group, I know I need to give myself, 7 to 10 days to advertise for it. So then I go back 7 to 10 days, and then okay, this is the day I need to make the image, and I need to post about it. And then if I know I want to run a challenge group, starting on December 5th, when do I need to get that event out? And so this is how I plug and play. I drop the start dates, and then I back myself into it. Then I know, and then it allows me to schedule my time. So like tomorrow morning, for example, you might need to allow yourself time to prepare your Black Friday stuff or your Cyber Monday. So when I do this with my team, then I take it one step further and actually plug it into the calendar, and then we walk through what that's going to look like. So that could be your assignment or things for you guys to do following up with this call based on whatever goals that you guys have. All right? All right. I feel like I was really scattered because my brain is really mushy. I am so sorry.
No, that was actually perfect, right, guys? Can I get an amen on that? Holy shit. That was like, I text Andrea and I'm like, it's a good thing she doesn't feel good because she's feeling it.
I really don't feel well, and I'm so sorry if I sound like I'm out there because I am out there.
No, that was phenomenal. And I don't want to talk a lot because you guys know that I can go on for hours, but the one thing that to me just was highlighted in this call, Melanie, and I know everybody can agree, was that entrepreneurial thinking. Do you guys see that? Like, do you see the way her mind works with this business? It's not throwing spaghetti at the wall. It is actually well planned, well thought out, structured. And then not only does she do it, but then she translates that and transfers that information to her team. No wonder why her team is so successful. So just think about that. Not only take down the ideas, because I wrote down, even as you were talking, Melanie, I was writing down things that were coming to me, like, oh, that's a great idea. Write it down. Maybe think about implementing that. But it's the thought process that, so many times we get frustrated with the business because we are so unorganized with the business, that if we were just able to take a step back, look at our month and say, okay, how can I strategically align my goals with the days available to me this month, we would be so much more productive. Yeah, right? Can we agree with that? All right, Melanie, I'm going to ask you one question and then we'll see. I know you have your team call and you have to get off, but it's crunch time. And I remember telling Jeremy Red, you mentioned Jeremy Red. I remember telling Jeremy a few years ago, today or this week is really, it's what I refer to as the Super Bowl of Beachbody. It really is. It's especially for new coaches that are trying to hit these big goals. This is it. This is the Super Bowl week. This is the one that locks in that 5-star rank advancement for elite purposes. This is what gets that momentum started for 2017. We've had the calls where our teams have gone and we've rallied and we've said, okay, guys, it's time to lock in ranks because this is it. Right? Melanie Mitro, what is it that you tell your coaches that are this close to that goal, whether it's emerald, whether it's diamond, whether it's 5-star diamond, whatever the rank is, what is it that you tell your coaches to inspire them to take massive action to hit those goals? Tony Robbins.
Oh my gosh, I know, right? I don't got that Tony Robbins feeling tonight, but I will tell you, I always say that, like, could you give it a fingernail more? Like, this is really where I say to them, like, look, this is where I gave up every free minute of every time. I cleared my calendar, I cleared my schedule. I devoted 24/7 of my life to reaching that goal. And it was a sacrifice, and it was ugly, and I was on the phone a lot, and I was on the phone with Coach Relations, and I was making sure people were getting switched to the right legs, and they were where they needed to be. I mean, I was up until 11:59. Actually, think I fell asleep at one point texting a coach, and I think I woke up and my phone was on my face, right? I mean, that is the ugly stuff that you do when you're pushing for a goal, but at the end of the day, when you accomplish that goal and you can celebrate that, it is the best feeling in the world because you're like, I freaking did that. You know, I worked hard, my team did that, and I always say, like, do not look back and say I could have worked harder or I could have pushed myself, right? Like, you want to look back and say, I gave it all I got. And I remember looking at Matt and saying, I'm going to need you on this, right? You're gonna have to bear with me. I didn't get a whole lot of sleep, and I pushed myself, but then I celebrated, and I allowed myself that downtime and that chill time. But this is, and then the next 5 weeks while you're in qualification, right? 5 weeks, all of a sudden, but it's the same way. Every week was like that. It was sort of like every week, I would check that sponsorship drawdown. I would plug and play. I'd make the calls. I would get on the phone. I would dive down into my downline. I would talk to the emeralds, and I just did whatever I could do to make it happen. And that is how you have to look at this. You just have to say, I am willing to make the sacrifice because it means that much to me. It means it's significance in my life, and however you define that, you just have to go for it. And you know what? Again, if at the end of the day, if it doesn't pan out, you can look back and you could say, I couldn't have done it any better than I did. And that should be rewarding to you. So that's what I tell my coaches.
That's awesome. I always, when we do these rally calls, right, like, all right, guys, let's do this. This is a team effort. We got to band together. I always tell everyone on the call, and I'm going to do that tonight, is put yourself in the shoes of the coach that is shooting for this goal a year from now. When you are sitting there saying, I want to be diamond. I want to be 1-star, 2-star, 5-star, elite, premier, whatever. And think about the rally that you want your team to do for you, right? So this whole business, this whole enterprise, what I love about it is not only is it very personal, right? My success really does begin and end with my actions. The actions that I take every single day to be consistent and on my game every day in my fitness, in my business, in bringing on coaches and training my coaches, all that jazz. But at the same token, what I love about it is that it does require a team, right? And the success of our team, our collective team, is going to help your businesses move forward. So I remember shooting for 15-star. And some of you are like, okay, that's crazy. That's a crazy goal. It was, and it was for me too. But the reason why that I did it was to show Diesel Nation and even our bigger organization. I was the first coach in our big organization to hit 15-star. I needed to show that it could be done. That it wasn't for some special people or that person or this person or that team or that team. It was available to everybody. And so when you are pushing for a goal, think about the inspiration and motivation that you're giving to the people that are watching you accomplish these things. That means a great deal. Can we agree on that? That we are going to go a fingernail more, that we are going to push and push and push until the clock strikes midnight, not only this week, but until the end of the year? Yes! I feel like freaking gladiator right now. All right, well, we have to leave. We have to let Melanie go. You guys blow her up. She's amazing. You guys, we know we love you, Mel, and thank you for taking the time, especially because you feel sick. But we'll let you go because you have your team call.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me, guys. It was great to hang with you guys. Thanks, Christina.
Well, no, thank you, and feel better. Tell Matt we say hi. But everybody else stay on for 1 second. Mel, you can go.
Bye, guys.
Bye. All right, Andrea, are you there? Where is she?
Overwhelmed. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So first of all, I think I just want to highlight that this is the coolest freaking company ever, because how often in any other network marketing company are you going to get the top coach who is probably going to end up her third year in a row, which is never done before, as top coach, and this is why, and she just told you exactly what she's doing. And so here's the interesting part that I'm going to challenge you guys, because you guys are the true percenters, and that's why this is my favorite group on Facebook right now, is that she literally held nothing back. Nothing. She gave you her exact strategy. Hopefully, you guys are going to be the ones to put it into practice. You guys are going to be the ones to execute. Had we done this on a normal team call where we would have just anybody who wanted to jump on could jump on, I would still say 2% of the people who actually listen to that call are going to execute, but you guys are the 2%.
Mm-hmm.
So how many of you guys are going to take this information and you're going to run with it? And so I'm challenging you a little bit right now, because I know you guys are the people who need and thrive in those moments of being challenged. I'm challenging your character. I'm challenging your integrity. And I'm doing that because I know you guys are going to be the ones to take this information, to step up and to lead with it, and not just do things like hit elite, because anybody who's not in Beachbody world doesn't know what the fuck that means. It means nothing to them. But you guys know that elite means a shitload of lives changed. It means people paying cash for Christmas. And I know a lot of people were like all over the chat as soon as she said that. And that was a huge thing for me too, was being able to pay cash for Christmas. We were so freaking broke when I signed up for this business. And to take that stress off of someone, and that's what keeps me going, because I honestly woke up, you guys, today, and I was like, it's Monday, the week of Thanksgiving. I can't remember the last time that I planned ahead for a holiday. Normally it's like, oh my God, the holiday's tomorrow. I better go to the grocery store and maybe meal plan, because I've been working my business so hard. And I thought for a second, maybe I should coast. I earned it. I worked hard. And as soon as I caught myself saying those words in my head, I went live in my team page and I said, I can't believe I just said this to myself. I don't deserve to coast right now, because you guys can't coast, because I said that I would step up and I would pave the path and I would lead the way for you. If you can't coast yet, I can't coast yet. So I have to step up and continue to lead and to do the work and to show people what's possible for them in their business, because I already get paid really well. Christina already gets paid really well. We could easily not work until January, and that's a beautiful thing, but I'm not going to ride on that, because I didn't sign up for this business just for me to be a millionaire or just for me to be incredibly wealthy. I signed up for this business because there's an Andrea out there that doesn't know about me yet. Mm-hmm. And it is my obligation to show up for her, even when she doesn't know me yet. And it's your obligation to do that for yourself, and to do that for your team, and to do that for your future team. You guys are not going to coast this week. You guys are going to take everything that Melanie just said, pick and choose the things that make the most sense for your business, and you guys are going to go execute like the most badass motherfuckers in Beachbody. Can I get an amen on a fucking Monday? Please. That's all I have.
Yes. I just wrote, take me to church. Because when you said, I'm looking for that Andrea, I'm like, yes. So many people forget that I was a coach at one point with 0 coaches underneath her and had to hustle and had to figure this whole thing out. And Andrea, you too, and some of the coaches on this team can attest to that, you know, the first time I paid $50 to that credit card that I had been paying $15, that was life changing. And I'm looking for that woman, that man, to help them do that and feel that, right? That's what you have to wake up every day and strive to do. So what are the action steps that you're going to take now to not only like soak all this inspiration up, but to actually put it into a game plan to not only execute your goals, but to then transfer this information. Someone says, I'm going live on my team page right after this call. Great idea. Sit down right after this, right after we get off, and say, okay, what am I going to do? Am I going to do it all? Maybe not. What really stood out to me? Was it that 3-day refresh? I love that. Right? To have the whole team, to get my customers, send an email to my customers, whether you have a few leads in your back office or you have hundreds of leads in your back office, that's a pretty darn great idea, right? To not only build volume, build team cycle bonuses, get people excited about something in the holiday season, 3-day refresh. So then everybody started talking about cash for Christmas. Love that idea, but the way that my brain is working right now, I'm saying, okay, I'm a little bit late to that, right? Even though I talked to my team about that a few months ago on a team call, I'm like, let's pay cash for Christmas. Right now, okay, how can I recruit or attract coaches to my business using that concept? So perhaps, since Black Friday is coming up, instead of saying let's pay cash for Christmas, let's pay off Christmas by March, right? That's just, I'm thinking that. I don't know, it's just a little idea, right? We're going to use credit cards to pay for Christmas. Let's pay it off by March. So if you become a coach now or in December or January, that gives me time to train you, to get you hitting success, to potentially start putting money into your bank account to pay off Christmas by March or April. Does that make sense? I'm just thinking out loud here. So think about all these things. The game plan, quarter force. I mean, I don't know if you guys follow me, but I literally, in my head today, was like, do I do it? Do I not do it? Do I do it? Do it? Screw it. I'm doing it. I'm posting my progress pictures now, right? And I did it. Guess what? 2 challenge packs today because I grew up late, my lady pair, and I posted my bikini pictures today instead of waiting till the end because I feel awesome and I feel like I need to share this right now. So if you've been crushing quarter force, let's just do it. Let's go. Share those pictures tonight because you can literally inspire someone to take action this week instead of in 2 weeks or 3 weeks when you finish the program, right? Can I get an amen? Start thinking like an entrepreneur. That word is killing me today. Entrepreneur instead of someone that's just trying to throw spaghetti at the wall. Think strategically. Think ahead. Be ahead of the game. I told a coach today, and oh my God, today was super challenging for me because I had 3 coaches who are fairly new in the business already saying, this is hard and I'm struggling. I'm like, you just started. And it's November, like chill out, right? Tell them you need to, and this Melanie alluded to this on this call. She said, like, put yourself in their shoes. Put yourself in your audience's shoes. What are they thinking right now? They're thinking, I don't have time. Yes, there's still a Diesel Nation team called Becky's doing that tonight, but you can hang on here for a little bit. People don't have time. People still want to indulge, just like me, right? I still want to have fun this week. I still want to eat my turkey and mashed potatoes, but I also don't want to start the new year at 30 pounds overweight. You know what I mean? So talk to your audience like in their shoes. Put yourself in their shoes and connect with what they're thinking right now. Sure, they don't have time. Sure, they want to have parties and they want to indulge and they want to have their cookies and they want to have their drinks and they want to have all that stuff. But tell them that it's okay, that they can work hard on the off time, that they can still get their 30-minute workout in, that they can still do all those things and not start the new year 30 pounds overweight, right? So be strategic with the way you speak and the message that you're putting on social media. All right, Andrea, I'm done because I can keep going because I'm all jazzed up. I don't know if you want to close.
The only thing that I just want to say is how much I appreciate that every time you guys are finding something that is working for you in your business, you guys are.
All righty. Did you guys like that call? Good information, lots of notes. I took some notes. Well, I just want to, I guess, wrap it up. Thank you, Emily, for sharing this with us. I hope you guys did get lots of takeaways. If anyone has any questions, feel free to unmute yourself now or forever hold your peace, or just, you know, ask us in the thread later. But great takeaways. And next step is to take action. Like whatever you're learning, don't wait to use that information or use those tips or advice, because then you're going to forget about it. You're never going to use it. And then this is a waste, right? So make sure whatever it is that you're learning from these calls, from each other, you know, like everyone's rocking social media with your posts. So make sure you stay on track with that. There's still a few days left. Anything can happen, whether you're close to Earning Success Club or not. Still make it happen. There is still time. You know, you've put in the work, you plant those seeds, and just do your best to finish the month off strong. I believe in each and every one of you. I know you can do it, and believe in yourself too, and just take massive action, and you'll be setting yourself up for an amazing December and January and February as well. So don't give up, keep working hard. I'm at Success Club 10 and I'm still working. I'm still talking to people. I'm still following up with people. I sent out tons of invites for my December group already. I'm not going to be waiting around for people to come to me. I'm going to people. So make sure you are doing the same. And yeah, we're good. Thumbs up. Well, I love you all. Thank you guys for spending this time on the call, and go kick some butt. All right. Bye, everybody.